We hear a lot of, you shouldn't send us to a school where they're training us so well in logic, because our arguments or our discussions have changed, and their ability to reason and to argue for their point is much more deep and mature. And sometimes we're like, okay. We were walking through God's Acres. It's a park, and there was a Latin word on one of the signs. And our oldest daughter was like, we should take a picture and send it to Mrs. Frobish because I'll get extra credit. This word means yada, yada, whatever. I can't even remember. But I was like, wow. And this child of ours struggles academically. And so for her to even notice that word and knew what it meant and just tell us all about it, our conversations have become richer. And just, I think, our focus is always of things eternal now. And we always bring it back to, I will say it time and time again, goodness, truth, and beauty. And it's changed actually how we parent when we discipline, and we use those vocabulary words that are being taught at school and here to just reinforce how we want them to be. And I think that's reassuring for us that we're being supported when our kids are at school and at home. It's the same kind of language.
Knowing the world needs our kids to come out of school, high school, college, with aspirations of being godly men and women, husbands, wives, fathers, mothers, and employees or leaders of businesses. The training that they get in school, yes, they can get it at public schools too. I'm sure they do well, but at Hillcrest, I think you get that deeper character building that's based on why and how God made us. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I think that we need to invest in as a community, a Christian community. And if and when we have any excess income, and there's an obvious need. This year was the renovation of the lower school campus, and thank God he provided for us that we were able to give at that time there was that need. Because if we don't, who will? And I really believe it's doing God's work when we are just matching our resources to a need that we see, in the church is an obvious thing, and we do that weekly at church. But I think the school that's a place where believers, God's children, are at too. So that's an extension of the church, and so giving to that just makes natural sense too.
I think too, when you get to spend time there and see the fruit almost immediately of what's happening there, it's easy to give. And it's good because when you see little kids, when you have kids talking about the goodness of heaven and how they want to tell everyone about Jesus, and they want to tell everyone what is good and what is true and what is beautiful, it's a no-brainer for us to want to invest in a place like that, and to want our kids to be surrounded by that, and to have teachers and staff willing to cultivate that in them, that sense of wonder, and this a safe place where they can ask questions and they can discuss things. And then advancing into even the upper campus, we want them to be able to be at Hillcrest so our kids can experience what mentorship looks like on a biblical level. So when they're struggling, they're not going to just go to someone and get what they want to hear. They're going to have a conversation with a mentor who's going to know what to say biblically. And if they don't, they know that there are probably a plethora of people that they can guide them to. So it's just money well invested. And because we spend a lot of time there, we get to see that and just feel confident in that investment.